it's dolltr, and in today's episode of Push Play, which is a part of my bigger series, A Trick a Day, we're going to take a look at setting these scales and keys on Push 2. Now, when you load up some kind of melodic instrument on Push, usually you might be faced with this view, and this is going to let you play some kind of major scale, it should be a C major scale, upwards in groups of 3 notes. And what I mean by that is if I take a look at this over here, I've got a pink colored pad. That's going to mean the root of whatever key I'm in, so the bottommost note. And if I play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 in that little box, I'm going to get some kind of major scale. So here is the C major scale. Now that's cool, but what if I wanted to play some other kind of scale? Maybe some kind of minor scale? I don't have access to those notes, so in order to do that, I'm going to have to press on the scale button that's on the right side of Push. And from there, I can choose the quality of the scale that I'm doing. I can also choose the root note and change it. So if I wanted to play maybe an E flat minor scale, what I just did is I selected the root, and then I moved this knob to switch from major to minor. Now I've got this. And that's E flat minor. Now, that doesn't really quite answer the question of where do all the other notes go, though. And that's because we're currently in a layout of Push in note mode that's called in key. If I wanted to see all the other notes, I would probably have to press chromatic over here. And that's going to open up some of these other pads that are now grayed out, but still available to us. Now, because of that, I'm going to be able to play some chromatic notes. So let's switch this back over to C major for reference. Here's my usual C major scale. But now I also have access to the notes in between, so we're going to get some chromatic stuff. And those are all of the chromatic notes. I could even do something a little bit funkier with my choice of scale, say maybe A flat, Dorian sharp 4. Let's see what we get. That's going to be your Dorian sharp 4. So that's something that I love about Push. You're able to get access to lots of different kinds of scales, and any of the buttons that are lit up reflect the notes that are in that particular scale. There are a couple of other functions that I find particularly useful. I'm going to set this back to C major for now. But one of them is the ability to turn the fixed notes or fixed roots on or off. So what this means is that depending on what root I select, Push may change the position of these colored pads. Like I mentioned before, each of the colored pads represents the root of the key or the bottommost note of the scale that we're in. But let's say I choose, let's do G major instead. So I just changed the root to G major. Initially we had C major. Here's G major. And the layout of Push didn't change itself, although the root note and the notes that we were playing in the scale did change. So now if I have fixed on, instead of having the exact same position of all of the colored pads are the ones that are shifting too. So you can see that happen. That's it. I can still play my G major scale. It'll just be in a slightly different position. Another thing that I found pretty interesting to experiment with sometime is the layout of vertical versus horizontal. And this is going to change the direction. So what I've been showing you has pretty much been vertical mode in fourths, which is also the particular layout that we're currently in. This means that I can play upwards like this. And it's almost a little bit like a guitar or a bass if anyone's played the guitar or bass out there. I can also change this to horizontal mode, which might actually be a bit more comfortable for some folks. But now instead of playing it this way upwards, I'm playing it almost sideways. So that's a little bit of an alternative layout as well. And all of these were the many tricks for today. I know it's called a trick a day, but I guess there's many of them. And that's how you change or work with different kinds of scales and keys on Push as an overview. And that's the trick for today. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you want to, you can also turn on the notification bell to be notified of whenever I have a new trick out. But I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye. dolltr.